How's it going, everybody? And welcome to the Liberty Bowl. It is, of course, live stream Friday. As we do every Friday here, we come together, hang out, smoke a little bit of herb, and unburden ourselves by what has been a very long week at work. Of course, joining me as always is my co-host Liberty Swine. How you doing this week, sir?
Much better, Dave. Feeling a lot better than last week, man. Enjoying this beautiful fucking winter we have here in AZ, dude. And of course, riding the old MAGA high, bro. How about yourself?
Right. Yeah. I'm fucking enjoying the weather out here, and of course, you could not ask for a better beginning to the Trump presidency. Of course, he's still has not been inaugurated yet. Of course, the Democrats are still melting down. They're still trying to. They're doing everything that you could think of, from claiming election fraud to fucking Elon Musk did it to fucking now instead of Russia, it's Elon. So
Right.
either way, they've always been election deniers. But of course, they are going in every which direction you could think of. They're attacking each other. The Democrat Party itself is falling apart. And all the Democrats fucking hate Nancy Pelosi now for some fucking reason. The squad is no longer the squad. Fucking people are starting to question fucking AOC's progressive values. Yeah, it's getting real out there for the Democrats. We also got mainstream media is falling apart, and this is not a drill, you guys. Like this is all this stuff that we're going to be talking about today sounds fantastical. Sounds like a wish list that we've been fucking dreaming of for a decade, over a decade now.
The crashing of worlds to some, but absolute hilarity to the rest of us.
Right. Mainstream media is falling apart. The fucking donor class is fucking falling apart. Um, the Democrats are pretty much within a civil war with each other. Fucking Matt Gaetz might be the attorney general. Fucking RFK's, what is he, the head of Health and Human Services?
Yeah,
and-
and left this YouTube is losing tens of thousands of subs across platforms. Good
yep,
times.
yep. Just fucking Mike Tyson's fighting Jake Paul tonight. Dude, what a fucking week, man. What a
Yeah.
week. What an administration thus far. And like I said, it hasn't even gotten off the ground yet, but this is just what has been proposed. And yeah, there's a lot of speculation about Trump's picks. We're gonna be talking, good amount about Trump's picks tonight. Um as to whether or not they're all going to be able to be confirmed in the Senate. So keep in mind we do have a slim majority in the Senate, but of course with J.D. Vance being the tie-breaking vote, we could still have a couple of neocon rhinos break away and still be able to get these people um, confirmed. Not to mention the fact that Donald Trump also put in a backdoor contingency plan. Right. Um, we'll be talking about that here shortly. But yeah, that's actually about all. So let's go ahead and just start talking about that now. All right. So Donald Trump has a backup plan for getting his cabinet members confirmed. Right. So shit, of course I don't remember the name of the guy who's poised to take over the Senate
Thune.
majority. Thune.
Thune
All
from
right.
South Dakota, yeah.
Right. So he's basically been he agreed to what is it, a recess appointments.
Yeah. I mean that's the president has the power to adjourn both fucking chambers, and but and supposedly one of the deals, if you remember, was Trump put out the message that anyone seeking the leadership in the Senate has to agree to confirmations and pushing forth the agenda, and obviously supposedly this guy agreed to it, but this was all a backdoor scheme where we don't know who voted for who. But then immediately the guy comes out and starts 180ing as far as, well, there's the process and it's going to be harder than you think. And I mean, of course, I mean, exactly what you'd expect from fucking Republicans.
Right.
Snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. But there isn't anything keeping JD Vance from keeping his Senate seat while being the vice president. Madison, the original vice president, was also the head of the Senate. You know what I'm saying? As a senator. So, I mean, that precedent is there from the beginning. So ultimately he could do that if he wanted to.
That'd be pretty interesting to see, especially
Yeah,
to see the lefties melt down over it. Because of course they would completely omit the fact that you just stated before and pretend this has never happened before. This is dictatorship 101. Yeah, I think
yeah,
this the only time something like this probably happens is Nazi Germany. I bet you. Um, and which is to be expected, right? But the one thing is, we are seeing Donald Trump act the way that we wish he would act, right? And this, he's not holding back any punches. He is literally slapping these people across the face, not even just every day, like fucking every other hour, with a new appointee that he intends to have be vetted by the Senate.
it's
Upon
definitely on purpose, just absolute
Oh yeah.
bombardment.
Yep. There's a lot of people that are speculating that he is doing the big ask, thing where he's basically, fuck it, we're gonna put out the most people that repulse you the most, and then we'll be able to sneak in somebody. But again, with that backdoor contingency plan that he has in place, he doesn't even need that. I think he's honestly just building the MAGA dream team. I mean,
Yeah, but even with the recess appointments being legal, and it could very well just be considered standard. I mean, it's in the Constitution, but at the same time, that's going to be a trigger as well. You see, you know what I mean? He's bypassing chambers and he's just doing what he wants. You could see it. I mean, it's going to be meltdown for the next fucking minimum of 2 years because
yeah.
that's the midterms. But
Yep. I actually do believe that Katie Hobbs tried something similar here in Arizona with some of her appointees, where, because of course in Arizona we have a Republican led legislature in both chambers. It's a slim majority, but still that's all that you need, right? And so they were trying to get, not confirm some of her more radical appointees, and she was trying to figure out back doors and ways that she could get around it, and basically just kind of install them as like a temporary placement. So
yeah,
basically, let them work without being confirmed. Basically, is what she was trying. But of course, I don't think that it ended up working. I don't really remember. I try not to pay too close of attention to Arizona's politics, especially with what fucking Katie Hobbs is doing. That shit will drive you insane.
Who was it? John McClain here in the state senate. I can't remember. It was he just won the Senate seat, but he was actually killed tonight in a DUI crash.
Oh wow.
So yeah, so there's going to be an open seat here coming up. I mean, I would assume, because if they're either going to have a pop election, or Katie Hobbs is going to be able to appoint someone, which would be fucking terrible. But
Right.
you know,
Yeah. Well, she did say that she's going to do whatever is within her power to make sure that we can get rid of this pesky Republican-led legislature that is holding. I mean, you
that the
never know.
people of the state fucking voted for.
Right. Yep. Yep. I wouldn't put it past them. Yeah. But speaking of what the people voted for, they voted for fucking the MAGA train to come through, and that it has. Right. So, of course, as we know, Donald Trump not only won the Electoral College, but he won the popular vote. We also took the Senate, and we maintained the House. And that's a big thing, right? There are still some seats. So we know that we're over 218. And of course, there are states that are still counting, which, as many people have already said, should be illegal. Nevertheless, we still have some states counting ballots right now and shipping some in from places unknown. But either way, we don't know about a few seats. I think it's like 7 or 8 seats that we still don't know about.
And then you
So
got places like Pennsylvania where a Republican senator was elected, declared the winner, but the Democrat incumbent refuses to concede, and then you even have rat face Schumer in the Senate refusing to let this guy into orientation, even though he's been declared the winner, because they're saying, well, there's still votes that are coming in from soldiers overseas and yada yada. So I mean, it's a contagion across the fucking country. It's
oh
become
yeah.
like a laughing stock of the West, man.
Yeah, we also have the Democrats making their own shadow appointee uh, lists as well. Basically, essentially, they're trying to. I don't know. They're playing. They're playing like if they won, essentially. And who knows? Maybe they're going to try and appoint these people to positions of power based off of the fucking party or whatever the fuck they do. Either way, it doesn't matter. They're fucking psychopaths, communists, and insurrectionists. So I mean, you can't put anything
And
past
election
them, really.
deniers.
Right? Definitely election deniers. So yeah, you can't put anything past them. Yeah, I mean, but one thing that we do know for sure is that they are starting to put these lists together of essentially their shadow government, their Santa Claus wish list government. But let's take a look at some of these appointees that Donald Trump has named so far. All right, so I got this from I believe it's USA Today. It's a basically panic list, right? So Trump's cabinet picks so far. What we know: Chief of Staff. Trump named his senior campaign advisor Susie Wiles as his White House Chief of Staff, the first woman in history to hold the title. The Florida political consultant largely stays out of the spotlight, but has been credited with helping Trump's political comeback. Attorney General Representative Matt Gaetz of Florida has been nominated as the Attorney General overseeing the Justice Department that he has long criticized. Right, so that right there is just poetic justice, right?
Right, and he's already resigned his seat, so something's in the works, man.
Yeah. Yep. And of course, if anybody's gonna get this shit pushed through, it's gonna be the Don. So I mean, it's looking like this could happen. This, like I said, this is the dream team that we have going on right here. Plus Marco Rubio.
And the theory there with Gaetz is even if he doesn't get confirmed, he's already resigned his seat. Marco Rubio stepping in as Secretary of State, so that's going to open up his Senate seat, and the governor gets to appoint a senator to take that place. So if he doesn't get confirmed, word on the street is that he'll be in the Senate.
It's pretty much a heads I win, tails you lose situation.
Yeah.
All right. So we also have Secretary of State, U.S. Senator Marco Rubio of Florida is nominated as the next Secretary of State. He will bring foreign policy experience through his roles in the Senate Intelligence Committee and the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. A Cuban American, he is set to be the first Latino person to be Secretary of State. Notice how they give him like the longest description out of all of them. But so Marco Rubio, Secretary of State, Director of National Intelligence, former Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard. Oh, and looks like we lost Liberty Swine there for a second. Not sure what's going on here, but we'll see if we get him back. But either way, let me go ahead and get through some of these. I'm pretty sure he knows them. But Director of National Intelligence, former Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard, is nominated as the Director of National Intelligence. The former Democratic presidential candidate turned Republican resident Hawaii's second congressional district from 2013 to 2021. Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy, longstanding Trump advisor Stephen Miller has been tapped for Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy in Trump's next administration. The 39-year-old has served as senior advisor to Trump and director of speechwriting during the Republicans' first term in the White House and is credited with shaping Trump's immigration policies. Ambassador to the United Nations, Trump nominated Elise Stefanik, a five-time Republican representing a northern New York district, as picked for his UN ambassador. She is House Republican. She is the House Republican Conference chair and a former contender for Trump's running mate. Border czar Trump has appointed Tom Homan. Right, that one's causing a little bit of controversy on the left to oversee deportation policy and aviation security. Homan was a Border Patrol agent for 34 years and served in Trump's first administration as an ICE director. He drew controversy for strict immigration enforcement, including the zero tolerance policy, which separated families of undocumented immigrants. EPA head. Trump has appointed Lee Zeldin as the administrator of the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. Zeldin was a congressman for parts of Long Island, New York, and ran but lost against Kathy Hochul in the 2022 gubernatorial race. National Security Advisor. Trump has named Florida Rep. Mike Waltz as his National Security Advisor. Waltz has held civilian positions at the Pentagon, was on the House Armed Services Committee, and has supported Trump's isolationist view of foreign relations. Right. So in other words, he's an America First type guy. All right. U.S. ambassador to Israel is going to be U.S. ambassador to Israel. Right at the time you pop in, right? Is going to be Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee. Mike Huckabee, as his U.S. ambassador to Israel. Huckabee is a Baptist minister. Again, presidential nomination twice unsuccessfully. His daughter is Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders, who served as White House press secretary during Trump's first presidency. Director
You
of
like how they
Central.
left his actual credentials out? They're like, he ran for president and lost. His daughter's governor of Arkansas. They didn't let you know he was a multi-time governor of Arkansas himself.
Of course, why would they, man?
Right.
Right? It's figuring it's the opposition. Why would they say anything nice about them? Right? The director of Central Intelligence. Trump designated his former director of national intelligence, John Ratcliffe, as CIA director. Ratcliffe previously was a House member from Texas before serving as director of national intelligence at the end of Trump's first presidency. His secretary of defense, Trump nominated Fox News host Pete Hegseth to defense secretary. All right. So a Fox News commentator, Hegseth served in the U.S. Army National Guard and had led veterans advocacy groups. All right. So
See,
they are
again, they're leaving out his credentials, man. He's
right.
been in multiple active combat zones, 2 Bronze Stars. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the dude's the shit. And they
Right.
try to say that he's a white supremacy because he has a Templar cross on his chest.
Right. But meanwhile, fucking Tim Walz, he's a fucking decorated national hero with
Yeah.
weapons of war that he carried in war.
Yeah, and I don't know if you know, but or if you know anyone out listening that's heard, but Hegseth was actually told to stand down. His orders revoked. He was in the National Guard that was coming to guard Biden's inauguration, and the reason that they told him to stand down was because someone trolled his social media and found a picture of him with no shirt on, where you could see the Templar cross.
All right, I'm sure I'll be
So,
able to find it right now. Yeah, actually, I came across that one a little bit earlier. It's oh no, yeah, oh yeah, of course, it's
right.
all over the social medias right now. Hey, go ahead and pull this up real quick. All right, so leftist media got it wrong again as they brand new Trump appointee Pete Hegseth as a Nazi. This is not a Nazi symbol; it is our Templar symbol of the Holy Jerusalem Cross, as seen in our Priori Church at Saint Mary Magdalene. All right, so of course the leftists are trying to brand him as a Nazi. And of course, here we got the meaning of it. Let me see. There was one I saw earlier with the actual post that somebody put. Right, it's funny. Meanwhile, these were the picks from the Biden administration. Right, the leftist media wants to melt down and all these people are the least qualified people in the world to fucking. This was Joe Biden's fucking what was it, head of health and human services?
Yeah, it's the admiral. They just
Right.
posthumously, promoted it to fucking admiral.
Right. Fucking ridiculous. Right. But meanwhile, fucking, people like RFK, yeah, they shouldn't be they shouldn't be nowhere near health and human services. Absolutely not. He's one of those anti-vaxxers. Right.
Yeah, and don't forget the other fucking, it with it in the photo, Sam Brinton is
Yep.
apparently a felon for he probably stole that dress it's wearing in that photo. You know what I mean?
Probably. Yep. Yep. Which, of course, some people would try to think like, oh, maybe it's a fluke. This happened on multiple occasions. Like not
Yeah.
the activity itself. I'm sure that happened on multiple occasions. I mean, the motherfucker got caught on multiple occasions while working within the Biden administration. Right? Like, you're not fucking poor. Like, this is some weird sort of fucking fetishized addiction that you're involved in. But meanwhile, these are the people that what was he like fucking head of nuclear waste or some shit like that? Fucking
Something to that effect, something to do
son-
with nuclear fucking waste and energy.
right. Right. Obviously, it was going directly into the fucking. It's mainlining it. That's what he's getting rid of it. He's fucking just hit me.
That's where it's heroin, man.
Right. Yeah, you're fucking absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, they want to say fucking, oh, Trump's appointees. right? Yeah, fucking this is the guy that you want fucking guarding the country, you know? Not
Yeah.
no fucking not no fucking they thems with the fucking with pronouns in their bio, right?
I
Uh,
obviously I don't know what happened there. We crashed because of the Tyson fight. You know, I'm sure everyone's aware. Streaming takes up about a fucking third of the broadband in the country, and tonight I'm sure it's much more than that. But I wanted to comment and see, like when you named Secretary of State Marco Rubio, what you thought of that pick.
to be honest, I don't know. From what I hear, a lot of people aren't too happy with it. But from what I've been seeing with him, in the during the Trump campaign, over this last year, he's been defending Trump, fairly well within the media.
He
You know,
has, but kind of carefully at times as well. He kind of walks it
right.
around it with not really wanting to commit, but speaking up at the same time, like passive aggressive, I guess.
Yep. And I'm sure some people have noticed that many people have taken notice that quite literally all you need to do to get on Donald Trump's good side is say anything nice about him. Doesn't matter if you've tried to fucking lock him up and throw him in prison and fucking murder his fucking family and shit. He will forgive you if you say something nice about him. And he will give you a position of power if you say something nice about him. Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people have started to figure that out already. And let's be honest, these are politicians, right? They're literally fucking name is synonymous with, being sneaky and fucking deceitful,
Right, but it was supposed to be, deeper research. I mean, not that I ever think that you're going to agree with all picks, right?
Mhm.
But at the same time, not only was this guy anti-Trump, but talked big shit like he shouldn't be trusted with nuclear codes, like Hillary rhetoric. And
Yeah.
then he was in on working with the Democrats to Trump-proof NATO, because remember Trump was speaking on if he got a second term that he would want to take us out of NATO, and he was actually in on a bill that made it harder to retract us from NATO, where it takes more than a presidential decree, that it's actually going to take a two-third House vote or some type of formal amendment from Congress, basically. So I mean, he kind of stuck us to where Trump's threats towards NATO, they can kind of just shirk off, like
Right. So
you know.
pretty much it's seeming like NATO ain't going nowhere. Right. But at the same
Exactly.
time, I mean, it could be, strategic. Of course, NATO, NATO, as much as they need us, you know, they do serve a purpose to us. I mean, especially
Not
with
to us, not to us.
well, in terms of the current geopolitical tensions and everything going on. I mean, as we see, what we tend to do is use other nations as cannon fodder, against our enemies. So I mean, there's like I say, there's still a possibility that he's trying to at least leave some sort of connection out to there. But of course, as Secretary of State, I mean that's a pretty big diplomatic position that you're going to be holding there.
Yeah,
So
yeah, but my theory on that is the ulterior motive was to open up that fucking Senate seat. That
yeah,
was a
could be
with the Gates situation, if this doesn't work
right.
out, this is here. Either way, we're gonna get a Republican senator nominated by Ron DeSantis.
Why
You know what
don't
I
you give
mean?
him? But then again, why wouldn't you give him fucking like Mayor Pete's position? You put him in fucking charge of making the trains run on time.
I mean, again, this is just strictly opinion. They're like assholes, right? But to me, Matt Gates is a pretty fucking intelligent dude, and he's a damn good attorney, and you know that by seeing him fucking question different representatives and heads of ABC fucking branches in Congress. You know what I mean? So to me, that guy's worth way more than that. I mean, you want him in a place where he's your new Trey Gowdy. He's the
Right.
fucking bulldog. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yeah. He's really good at playing like 4D chess in terms of political moves as well.
Right. And verbiage. Like I said, I mean,
Yep.
he traps people verbally constantly when you hear him questioning.
Right. And plus, he's a comedian, man. People fucking make fucking Jerry Seinfeld memes with him all the time.
Right.
But yeah. I mean, I say it's an interesting position. It's definitely the game of politics is very cutthroat. And I'll be honest, I haven't been paying too close of attention. After the election, it's been kind of just like relief. But then, like all of these picks and shit, it's just like, holy shit, like Donald Trump isn't wasting one fucking minute. He's not gonna sit back and revel in victory for 1 minute. He's like, okay, so first thing we're doing is this, then this, and then this. So yeah.
Did you get to his ambassador for NATO?
I don't believe so. Let me see. National Security Advisor. Oh, U.S. Ambassador to Israel. Director of Central Intelligence, Secretary of Defense. No, and then we got Homeland Security and White House Counsel. Those are the only two we got on this list.
His ambassador to NATO is going to be Elise Stefaniak.
Okay, yeah. Let me see. I know I saw her on here. Okay, yep. Ambassador to the United Nations.
Which I absolutely hate. I mean, don't get me wrong. She's great. Dude, she's a head cracker. Again, highly intelligent. You know what I mean? She's, very well spoken. But my point is like you keep taking people that are, supposed to be on our side out of places of power where we need them,
Right.
And there is the whole, well, we can replace them or what have you. But what makes you think that you're going to get that same quality? I mean, especially considering previous picks for positions.
Right. Did you see who he picked for Speaker of the House? Or not fucking Speaker of the House, press secretary? I don't know why I always fucking mix those two positions up there. They're very different.
No, I did not.
It's like some 27-year-old chick.
Yeah. I mean,
I guess she's going to be the youngest press secretary in White House history.
I mean, that's cool. And I'm sure she'll be much more capable than fucking cringe. But you see how Kayleigh McEnany handled fucking the press and whatnot when she was in the position, and she's a pretty young chick herself, So, if the pick is anything like the previous, fucking A1.
Yeah, let's see. I got this post from old Charlie Kirk, and that's the first one that popped up. See, Caroline Leavitt is the youngest press secretary in history. JD Vance is the third youngest VP in history. Matt Gaetz is the third youngest AG in history. Our movement is young, tough, and ready to save America. I know that doesn't give much context, but
America,
fuck yeah. But yeah, that's her right there between old Byron Donalds and Boebert.
The Boebert yogurt.
The Boeberts. Right. But yep. So yeah, that's her, Caroline Leavitt.
Well, yeah.
Let's see, President Trump announces Caroline Leavitt as White House press secretary from Mar-a-Lago, Florida. Today, the 45th and 47th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, announced that Caroline Leavitt will serve as White House press secretary. Caroline was the Trump campaign's national press secretary and previously served in the Trump White House as assistant press secretary. Caroline Leavitt did a phenomenal job as the national press secretary on my historic campaign, and I am pleased to announce she will serve as White House press secretary. Caroline is smart, tough, and has proven to be a highly effective communicator. I have the utmost confidence she will excel at the podium and help deliver our message to the American people as we make America great again. All right, like Caroline Leavitt, right? I mean, she's no Alex Jones, but she's at least better to look at. I'll give her that.
I think it might have been on Tim or something. I heard they were joking around and they were like, you wish fucking like Elon and a couple of cats would get together and buy MSNBC and put Alex Jones on there,
right,
and let everybody else conduct their shows as normal, but he just sits and fact check them the whole time, dude. Hilarious, bro. That'd be so fucking classic.
Right, that'd be fucking great, man.
Hell yeah.
Alex Jones, man, fucking, especially but considering everything that he's going through, legally right now, dude, that guy's pretty fucking on top of the world right now. Like he's pretty untouchable. He ain't even need no money. It doesn't matter. They're gonna take every fucking dollar that he ever gets from him. But either way, dude, he's still fucking well taken care of. He's got friends all over the fucking world.
I mean, you've seen they took his studio and shit, and the next day he had his show on. It's just like normal, fucking seamless, right. Dude.
Yeah, they pretty much just cleaned up the old office for him.
Right. Apparently, he had what he called a lifeboat studio, just in case.
Fuck yeah, man! Fucking Alex Jones, dude.
Right.
Yep. That dude ain't going nowhere, man. But Yeah, fucking it's funny, man. They're like I said, the left is fucking collapsing in many aspects. Some of them are coming to terms with the fact that all the bullshit that they pulled over the last several years was uh probably not a good idea. Probably didn't, sit too well with the people. And then other people are just doubling down and saying that, oh, it's because everybody is fucking misogynist and racist.
Right.
Everybody that's not me is a racist and a misogynist, right? Everybody else is the problem. It's definitely nothing to do with us, right?
I haven't the remotest ability of fucking, of reflection.
Right. Yeah, and I got nothing, right? Um, but
I
yeah,
don't know what happened.
right. But yeah,
That photo was great. It sucks you took it away. There was a lot of tatties in there.
right. Fucking tatties and what is fucking I don't know what the fuck Bobert's got. It looks like he's got like a fucking Tech 9 or some shit like that with the collapsible stock. But,
Supremesies, definitely.
yeah, so we also got another one that was not included. Well, actually, hold on, let me get through this list real quick. Stephen Miller, deputy chief
Yeah,
of staff.
Stephen Miller. Yep, he's a fucking border hawk, dude, and a head cracker. Again, eloquent speaker and highly capable.
Yep. Of course, director of national intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard. What's your thought on that one?
Of course, you just let Russia take over fucking our defenses, bro. I mean, according to Joy Reid, dude, she's got access to the nuclear codes or something, man. Fucking ridiculous. Obviously, she was a lifelong Democrat, groomed by the Democrats to be the head. I mean, she was the head of some pretty big committees in the party itself at one point. For them to turn on her just because she fucking filleted the Clintons and camel toes, ridiculous. She's everything that party it pretends to stand for. She's a minority woman, you know what I mean, of power, no kids. You know what I'm saying? I mean, active duty military, so on and so on. Everything that they claim to be for, she is. And
Right.
They tried to destroy her. And good pick. Good fucking pick. If it makes the left melt down, you're doing something right.
It really is hilarious because just a lot of these people have been, in many ways, ran through the media by the left or through the legal system by the left. And just to see the complete flip flop, like fucking, what is it? Fucking Matt Gaetz goes from being investigated by the DOJ to running the DOJ.
Right. Yeah. And
right?
Tulsi obviously being put on a terror watch list. And now she's going to be able to smack and fire fools. Yeah, it's good times.
Yep. Running the head of the fucking intelligence of the United States. Right. Yeah, that's it's definitely nothing to scoff at.
I think he'll get her confirmed. I think she'll be confirmed, man.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I don't doubt that one. Let's see. We also got the border czar, Tom Homan. Right, that was another one the lefties were freaking out about.
Yeah, and you just look at that dude, and he's you just look at him, you're like, yeah, that's the kind of guy I want in charge of the border, man. And then when you hear him handle fucking questions, regardless of if it's sitting representatives or the media, icing on the cake, man.
Right. Let's check out this little video real quick. Yeah, this one's only yeah, we could do this one.
First of all, your comments. I've served my country 34 years.
I find your
This
comments
is out of
disgusting
control.
as well.
I've served my country for 34 years. And yes, I held a 5-year-old boy in my arms and back that tractor trailer. I knelt down beside him and said a prayer for him because I knew what his last 30 minutes of his life were like. And I had a 5-year-old son at the time. What I've been trying to do my 34 years serving my nation is to save lives. So for you to sit there and insult my integrity and my love for my country and for children, that's why this whole thing needs to be fixed. And you're the member.
We agree on that.
Fix it.
We agree on that, but I disagree. But I also disagree with your characterization of immigrants as prone to criminality.
People for 3 decades on this.
Gentlemen, time is.
Look, You want to know why there's 50,000 people in detention? You want to know why we have 1 million illegal entries in the United States? You want to know why I have these issues? Because you have failed to secure the border. You have failed to work with this president to close the 3 loopholes we've asked for 2 years to close. So if you want to know why this issue exists, you need to look in the mirror. You have failed American people for not securing the border and closing loopholes.
Mr. Holman,
Look,
please respect the chair and the authority of the chair. The time of the gentleman has expired.
I've asked you politely to let me go
Gentleman
beyond my time, and you let other
gentlewoman
people
from
go beyond their time, but not to Tom Holman. He don't get to go beyond his time.
Mr. Holman, we
Well, I
have
keep banging that,
reached
man.
an
Penguin ass
agreement
bitch.
between the Republicans and the Democrats with the ranking member. We increased the time of one witness, one member of Congress who was interrupted by a protest. That is done with the approval of the ranking member. Please respect the chair's authority. The
I respect the
gentlewoman-
chair's authority, but the chair,
Mr. Holman.
you work for
excuse
me.
me.
I'm a taxpayer. I'm a taxpayer. You work for me.
Bitch, you work for me.
So the recommendation of the many that you recommended family separation,
I recommend a zero
Fucking
tolerance.
moron.
which includes family separation.
The same as is with every U.S. citizen parent gets arrested when they're with a child.
Zero tolerance was interpreted as the policy that separated children from their
If I get arrested for DUI
And
and
what?
I have a young child in the car, I'm gonna be separated. When I was a police officer in New York and I arrested a father for domestic violence, I separated that father
Mr.
from his
Holman, with
family.
all due respect, legal asylees are not charged with any crime.
When you're into the country illegally, it's violation 8 United States Code 1325.
Seeking asylum is legal.
If you want to seek asylum, you go through the port of entry, do the legal way.
Fucking seek
The
asylum.
Attorney General of the
Fucking
United States
just
has made
jump
that clear.
over and fucking
Okay.
start living.
We have seen one estimate that says it would cost $88 billion to deport 1 million people a year.
Absolutely not.
I don't know if that's accurate or not.
Is that what American taxpayers should expect?
What price do you put on national security? Is that worth it?
Is there a way to carry out mass deportation without separating families?
Of course there is. Families can be deported together.
Sure.
Better start packing now.
Snowflake's nightmare. Me too, man. Me too.
Because you're going home. I got another message. Another message to the criminal cartels in Mexico. You smuggle enough fentanyl across this country to kill 148,000 young Americans. You have killed more Americans than every terrorist organization in the world combined. And that's when President Trump gets back in office. He's going to designate you a terrorist organization, and he's going to wipe you off the face of the earth. You're done. You're done.
Why would you release 5 or 6 female children to one male sponsor? Why would you do that? So God help these children. God help these children. I love kids. And this administration, I don't want to hear another word about you being humane. You're putting children at risk. Record number of Americans are dying. Record numbers of migrants are dying. There's one guy who can fix this shit, and it's Donald Trump. Look, I knew President Trump was going to run before you did because I had dinner with him in Las Vegas about 6 months before he announced. And we were having dinner and looked at me and says, Dom, I think I'm coming back. If I come back, can I get you to come back? I says, I tell you what, sir, I'm so pissed off, I'll come back for free.
Cheers to that.
That's not real. He ain't coming back for free, dog.
Definitely not.
Right. I don't care. He's worth the tax dollars, dude. He's going to fucking do the job. You know what I mean?
And if he's not, Elon and Vivek will sniff it out. I'm just-
Right. And that's why these fools melt down over these people, because they don't want jobs done. They don't want the place cleaned up. They don't want the border secure. They don't want fucking illegal crime to go down. You know what I mean? So on and so on. I mean, they've done this shit on purpose. Why would they want people to come in and fucking undo their years-long work, right?
As we've already seen them do, during the whole inflation thing, like when they're trying to say like, oh, the black community didn't know about inflation until fucking all these MAGA people started screaming about it, to the high heavens and stuff. The whole thing, their thing is it's blaming the fucking victim and shit. It's not the fact that, oh, we've been ripping off the American public for fucking decades, or it's not the fact that, oh, the government is corrupt, our justice system is corrupt, and there's a two-tiered system of justice. It's the fact that people are telling you about it. That's what's wrong, right? That's the problem here, and that's honestly the way that they see it. These people, these are these establishment people. This has been their world for decades now.
Yep, you're rabble rousing, dude. You're not educating no one, dude. You're not sharing information. You know what I'm saying? You're not letting people know, the absolute basics of fucking, economics. You're definitely rabble rousing, dude. It's fucking shenanigans and malarkeys.
Right. Yep. You're the cause of inflation. Right, fucking inflation wasn't a thing until you told them about it. Man, you guys thought I didn't know what inflation meant, man. Yeah. So these people, they're corrupt. You've seen it all throughout history. You've seen it all throughout your fucking history classes. If you turn on the History Channel, fucking really all of the people that the left complain about and try to call us, that's who they actually are. It's projection. They over here like, oh, he's going to weaponize the government. He's going to fucking use the power of the government to sniff out the weaponization that you guys did. And you guys are going to try and say, oh, that's political persecution. Like, no, it's not. It's sniffing out the corruption and putting an end to it. Like, it's quite literally working for the people. It's for the first time. These people aren't fucking going to take your bribe money. They're not going to take your fucking your earmarks and all your other fucking extra expenditures that end up circling back somehow into your fucking bank account or into the bank accounts of your family members. All right. They finally run into the people that aren't going to be bought.
And it's crazy how fast they turn on their own. Like fucking RFK was a darling. Obama was talking about naming him as the head of the EPA during his fucking administration, and they labeled him a star. Like Obama, taps consider a star for his cabinet, and he was like, of course the Kennedy, it's fucking Democrat royalty. And as soon as the dude comes out and fucking backs Trump, they're against everything. You know what I mean? Because everything the dude's talking about is taking dyes out of the food, reducing GMOs. You know what I mean? Like more research on vaccine shit like that, and they're all screeching. They're going to destroy local health centers. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? You know what I mean? And of course, they've denied him Secret Service. I mean, they basically kicked him out of the party, all because he's not in 100% agreement. Like,
right.
I mean, that's what they do to anyone. It doesn't matter how close you are or what have you. If you're, I don't want to vote for these people because they're destroying the economy. It's fucking.
Do you think it'd be good for Donald Trump to, and I guess in a sort of way, extend, and not so much like an olive branch, but more or less kind of like a lifeline? I guess kind of like a snitch line. We'll put it that way. Basically, obviously, he's going to be going after the corruption, the weaponization of government, basically all the bullshit that they've been doing over the the past decade or so. Do you think it'd be wise for him to basically like, all right, look at anybody that comes forth with the truth and you could bring evidence, we will look past what you did, we will forgive you, but you need to provide the information that like if he were to put something forth like that? Because obviously, like I said, all of the weaponization of lawfare that they did completely backfired on them. Every single time they brought forth a new indictment, the public reeled back and his poll numbers went up, and so basically it really kind of be the same thing on the other foot, so I think if he could get some key witnesses and shit like that to actually come forth and testify to the public as to like, yeah, we were ordered to never report anything good on Donald Trump. Like, here's the paperwork, here's the actual letter that they wrote me telling me that I'm not allowed to say anything good. Like, here's the fucking bullet points that they would send us every morning. Like, if they were to do shit like that, do you think that'd be something that Donald Trump should do, or just fuck it, investigate everybody's scorched earth, everybody's fucking heads are gonna roll?
I mean, of course, you want to protect whistleblowers, even if that means fucking, cutting some, sort of deal. But also putting the squeeze on helps. I mean, you see like the chick from was it FEMA that put out the text about avoiding fucking Trump houses, and then her getting fired kind of opened the door. Then she's on the
Right.
fucking talk show circuit saying, "Well, it came from above. They're trying to blame me as if I was the instigator of this policy when it was passed down to me from much higher above." And something that we practice on a regular basis. So I mean, putting the pinch on, I think, makes people squeal as well. So I could
Yeah.
see given that opportunity, become a whistleblower, see something, say something, right, as far as the government's concerned. But for a limited time, and then we're just gonna fucking lay
Right.
it out. We're on a limited clock here. Like I said, we got 2 years. Even though it's a 4-year term, you never know what's going to happen in the midterms. So basically, they got to look at everything as, do we got to do this as fast as fucking possible?
Yeah. Yep. And that's it's going to require all hands on deck too, So I mean, we really have to be vigilant and make sure that all of these fucking rhinos, we need to keep an active list throughout these entire 2 years of everybody who stood in the way of getting this stuff done. Everybody that basically, I mean, we don't know what's to come. And politics used to be predictable, not no more. Like there's no telling what the fuck is going to happen over the next 2 years on the opposition side. But we could pretty much guarantee that there's going to be some Republicans that are going to be joining that side because that's the way that they are. But
Yeah, and then there's also going to be some sort of pushback from the left as well. I mean, it's the calm before the storm right now. I mean, they're going to pull some kind of shenanigans, and it's not going to get any better as far as the the TDS and the backdoor fucking. Let's just look out for ourselves instead of our constituents.
right. Like, and it's all our crazy shit's already fucking going down, man. You see all the fucking people shaving their fucking heads, man.
Yeah, yeah.
You see all the memes and shit. Like, I'm not sure if this is a fucking neo-Nazi or if this is just a leftist that's mad that fucking Donald Trump won.
Right. And you're
Really
supposed
hard
to
to
tell
tell.
by their fucking blue bracelets, dog.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a trend now. You go on TikTok and there's all these chicks on there like, I make bracelets if I can do it in blues, and you know what I'm saying? Like, fuck, man.
Hey, remember the fucking article that came out like a week or two before the election, and basically saying that get ready for a massive fucking mental health crisis in America if Donald Trump
Yeah.
wins. Like, hey, they weren't fucking around, It's
Yeah, you
really
see schools and businesses, they've opened up therapy sessions and shit for employees, and you know what I'm saying? Just
Right.
madness, dude.
it's fucking insane. It really is just not. I mean, of course, I feel for people that maybe have a weaker constitution. Maybe you're a bit sensitive or whatever. Like whatever. People are themselves and shit. But no, these people are actually like nuts. Like they're fucking nuts, dude. Like
They're not only shaving their heads, they're getting divorces and leaving their
Yeah.
families, and I mean, just doing crazy
threatening
shit,
to
cutting
poison
each
their
other
fucking
off.
family members and shit. Dude, like
Yeah, you got chicks out here that are, again, doing, the leftist talk shows talking about, it's okay to cut your family off for the holidays because fucking
Yeah.
politics. Like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with people, man? You know what I mean?
right.
And you're saying you feel for them. I mean, I guess I could feel for you if you got like some sort of legitimate fucking mental handicap. But like I said, these people are just twack, dude. I have no fucking feelings whatsoever, man. Fucking melt, dude. You guys
Right.
deserve it. You know what I mean?
Yep. But at the same time, I mean, you still have to inhabit this fucking world with these people, And so I
Right,
mean
but they're not going to change.
that's-
It's the same people that wanted to put you in camps for not
I
getting
guess
shots and stuff.
I guess it's really, that's what I mean by I feel for them, as in the fact that I recognize them as another human being, and you should not be acting this way. Something is wrong with you. Like it's like the same thing as seeing somebody that's fucking dying on the streets, or somebody that's all, I guess most of the people on the streets left themselves that way, but like somebody that's dying of like a terminal fucking illness or something like that, and it is really not, it's like, fuck, dude, like yeah, something's really fucking wrong with you. Like, I'm sorry, like that's kind of the way that I kind of view them, It's like, holy shit, dude. Like, what the
Like
fuck
I
is
said,
wrong with you,
there is a portion that are truly fucked up in the head, but most of them it's
Mhm.
like a conscious choice. I mean, even the shit they're doing, shaving their heads and filming their fucking meltdowns to post online. I mean that obviously an intentional choice. I mean, these chicks are setting up cameras and sets and stuff to cry and melt down on.
How much
You
of it
know?
do you think was more nature versus nurture? You know, how many of these people do you think were just coddled and just, fucking grew up
Well,
on
we're
this?
Americans. I mean,
Right.
I'm
Right. Well,
sure
that's what I
85% of
mean.
them.
But I mean, how much of it do you think was based off of the fact that, they were coddled, they were never given boundaries as children, they weren't given discipline as children, something like that, compared to they've spent their entire lives like this and fucking just being fed mind virus all day,
Yeah, obviously that's a huge portion of it, dude. Is fucking the fact that there's no human connection, that everyone's pretty much just on the inner zones. But the other part of that is the years pre-COVID, where parents weren't really paying attention. You just thought your kids are getting the same education you did, and turned a blind eye to the Frankfurt indoctrination fucking factory, and they're turning out completely self-entitled, gender confused, sexually fucking deviant little weirdos, man.
Right.
That can't handle any type of conflict, like to the extent, like we were just saying earlier, all you got to do is disagree and it's complete meltdown.
Right.
And that
That's
that's from
violence.
yeah,
That's
and right, and
itself.
that's from teachers telling the kids just that words are violence, and you shouldn't have conflicts, and you know what I'm saying. I mean, and
Yep.
that obviously that's natural, that's part of fucking human development, is learning to control that shit. You know what I mean?
Yep. 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 Which brings us to our next topic. The Department of Education. Donald Trump says he's gonna fucking axe that shit, right? Oh man, we already have the lefties, fucking cities and states melting down. Like, how are we gonna ever survive without the Department of Education? Like, how is Denver schools gonna survive without fucking federal funding? Like, well, you're gonna get it from the local citizens. That's where you're gonna get it from, right?
Like
And
the same way we did for the first 200 years of our existence, dude.
right, right. Who don't? Maybe there's a possibility that you might even have to look into different schools, and you might even have to pay for your children's education a little bit. That could happen. You might actually have to take a vested interest in what your kids are learning. That's a possibility. I mean, I know it's not. I know it's not. Fucking the same school lunches, the fucking the school to prison pipeline that you guys are used to. I know it's not going to be what you grew up with, but your kids might have to face disciplinary action in school rather than just a fucking write-up. Maybe they'll actually have to go back to writing sentences again. Who the fuck knows, dude? Like, you don't know. Maybe they'll learn cursive again. Fucking hey, dude, what a waste of time that's gonna be.
Right. Not to mention, I mean, we spend more, per student than like any other fucking developed country on the damn planet. But since the inception, of the Department of Education, all metrics have gone down. Like, I mean, I've seen, several guys on the inner zones ask the question in general that have like massive followings. Name one metric that's gotten better under their tutelage, and no one can. I mean, you
Right.
have places like, the more liberal, the worse, policies, of course. But like Washington State, for instance, they do away with standard levels. Like, you don't have to know how to read or do basic math to graduate. That's fucking racisms. Or like in Philadelphia, where they did away with accelerated or gifted classes because there was too many whites and Asians in them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, they're literally like, well, okay, you guys are going to destroy it by letting parents and the fucking the board of education in your locality decide on the curriculum, but we'll destroy it on fucking purpose, and you got to pay for it. Yeah, get the fuck out of here, man.
Right. Yeah. Fucking yeah. It's amazing, the way that our education system works. Year after year, they get fucking budget increases because of the fact that year after year, test scores and all that stuff go down. Right. So obviously, the solution is that we need to pay the teachers more. Right. That's going to make everything fucking better. We need to build more facilities. We need to hire more counselors for every student. Every student needs their own individual counselor. That's the number one thing. Right. So we just need more money. And year after year, levels go down and down and down. While
Yeah, and
the price and the cost goes up and up and up.
yeah, that, like, the red for ed shit, like you just said, we got to pay the teachers more, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and you could say, well, these people make 50, 60 grand, and that's on a national average, right? And people, well, that's not a lot of money. Well, one, it's never been a high paying position. Two, you purposely chose it going into it knowing that. And then three, you work about 6 months a year. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you have the fucking like professional job with the most time off of anyone else on the fucking planet. You know what I'm saying? I mean, really.
Yep. Yep. But yeah, still that's not enough, you know. So hopefully, you know, we'll see it come to something different. I mean, obviously it's gonna end up being something different, but you know, what else do you really need to see other than what has come of the people of our public education system? You know,
I know you can compare it to charter schools where they spend about a third the amount per student, and you know the standard levels are just through the roof in comparison.
right? Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's so many different options other than public school that greatly excel. You know, yeah, it's really just anything that's connected to the Department of Education directly is usually their indoctrination camps. They're churning out fucking robots to go fucking not even work in the factory. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. They really just we don't have factories no more. They're really just that's what the Department of Education was originally fucking designed for to create workers, and create people that can know how to fucking actually operate a machine and actually fucking work a time fucking clock and shit like that.
Consuming taxpayers, dude.
Right. That's what they needed, But now all we are is consumers. We don't create anything. So I mean, really, we're just creating fucking robots without a purpose. And this is what they do. They go fucking burn down cities and fucking shoot meth and take shits on sidewalks. That's what happens when you don't give a machine a purpose.
If you're going to
be sure to have this app in your phone.
Right. The doo-doo app for anyone not on the fucking West Coast here, man.
Right. But yeah, so I mean, fucking Agenda 47, dude. It's like I say, it really is kind of surreal. You've never seen a Republican government in this fashion. Like I say, just fucking one after the other. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. We're doing this. Your job's gone. Your job's about to be gone. Afuera, afuera, afuera.
Right. If you notice, there's a pattern though with throwing out all the nominations, right? It's a couple that are pretty agreeable, and then one that makes them melt down. A couple that are agreeable, we put space in there and overburden them, so they don't know what the fuck to do, dude. You know what I mean? They don't know which ones to report on. They don't know which ones to try to fight against because it's all just coming at them. And you hear the meltdown over that even. Like, the speed of these nominations, it's obviously disorganized. And obviously he came into this motherfucker with a plan and learned from the first time. You know what I mean? And thus far, the only one that I really disagree with the nomination is fucking Rubio. But if it works out in Matt Gaetz' favor, where, we gain even more fucking power or more of a mouth, I'm good with that, I guess.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Fucking, like I said, it really is just kind of surreal though, just fucking seeing somebody actually getting in there and fucking doing everything that he said he was going to do, somebody that makes decisions without trepidation, like somebody that's not like, well, we need to go consult with the experts and then we'll, have a committee put it together and then we'll come up with a decision eventually, like
that's, I think he kind of did that first time. You know what I mean? I think he kind of let the GOP lead him. He really thought like, this is my party. I just won the nomination for, I mean, they're going to back me. They're going to fall in line, but obviously that didn't happen. You had fucking bitch ass Paul Ryan, and all the other so-called fucking Republican crying ass bitches, dude. You know what I mean?
Yep. But
now they all work for CNN or are completely obliterated, dude.
I think back that was actually something that we were talking about like all throughout the past like year or two of Donald Trump basically announcing that he's going to run again and us basically supporting him was like what has he learned from his last one, and he learned a lot. He
seems like
he definitely learned the game.
Yeah, like I said, hopefully, the train keeps going. If, you don't have Thune over there in the Senate fucking poisoning it, because obviously, he was McConnell's fucking lapdog for the past few years, and had basically like his hand-picked replacement. And everyone kind of knew that this was going to happen because that's the reason they took it behind closed doors. And of course, the one person that everyone wanted to take the spot was the first one eliminated. Obviously this is hearsay again. This was a backdoor voting session, like it's not on record, but this dude's been pretty anti-Trump for years. Even in 2016, he was like, Trump should step aside in favor of Pence. The fuck you want to lose, man?
He really is playing the fucking the chess game though. I mean, he's obviously sacrificing positions and pawns and stuff like that. He's setting himself up though. He's I think he knows what he's doing.
I mean, like, the only doubt is, previous example. You know what I'm saying? I mean, obviously there's a lot that, that he did, or tried to do that I'm completely in agreement with. But obviously staffing was an issue before. And while it seems he's taken a completely different route this time, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I mean, obviously it's too early. The man's not even in office yet. And we'll see who gets confirmed and who doesn't, and where he goes from there. Because, I mean, there's going to be second choices. I mean, I'm sure he has, contingencies, but are they going to be on the same level as the original picks?
Yeah. We'll just have to wait and see. Like I said, the biggest
they can't give him everything. What do you think? I don't think they can give him everything. I think the Senate will deny at least one, and very well possibly could be Matt Gaetz.
Yeah. I think Matt Gaetz is probably a bit of a long shot, but. Like I said, like you were saying earlier, it does seem like he even has a fucking backdoor plan in case that happens too. He's right. Ace up his sleeve just in case that happens too.
Yeah, and you'd like to see Matt Gaetz in the Senate, but I'd like to see him as AG much more.
Oh yeah, fucking Matt Gaetz as fucking Attorney General would be great. Oh, fucking one more that we've yet to talk about. It's obviously nothing official yet, but the people have spoken. And they want Brandon Herrera as the head of the ATF. Right? Of course, Brandon Herrera, if you guys don't know, is a well-known gun tuber, which is, of course, a YouTuber who makes videos about guns. He also ran for Congress in Texas. I don't remember what district, but in Texas, this election, actually, he did end up losing the primary, I believe. He lost the primary. I'm pretty sure he lost the primary. It was it was the primary. I don't think he made it past the primary. Either way, he's a gun tuber, right? He also designs guns as well too. But yeah, imagine that guy as the head of the ATF. Of course, the heads of the ATF right now.
Automatic weapons, dude.
Right, and you get a machine gun, and you get a machine gun, you get the machine gun. Yeah, dude, that would be fucking incredible. That would not talk about a long shot. Fucking that would be a bit of a long shot, But yeah, that'd definitely be fucking awesome. He's apparently miles ahead of anybody on online polls. I don't remember what the website is, but it's basically a like kind of like who the people think should the appointee should be. I guess there's just another metric to give Donald Trump a little bit more of a finger on the pulse of what the American people are thinking.
Yeah, and I really hope that he doesn't screw Kash Patel, man. I mean, he was great previously. He'd be great for the head of the FBI. And, he's pushed Trump pretty fucking hard, and he always refers to the situation as we're going to come in. And, I was amazed that he hasn't already been named as some type of position. I thought it was going to be the CIA myself. But.
Right. Actually, that does remind me. Actually, there was somebody else that's the director of the Central Intelligence Agency. It's a John Ratcliffe. Yeah, that's his director of National Intelligence, John Ratcliffe, as CIA director. Ratcliffe previously was a House member from Texas before serving as director of national intelligence at the end of Trump's first presidency. So basically, he had Tulsi Gabbard's job in Trump's last administration, right?
Right, and he was, a fighter in the House for Trump, he was cracking skulls over the January 6th shit, everything. I mean, he was did his thing.
All right. Let's talk about one more real quick. Secretary of Homeland Security, South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem. Get your thoughts on that real quick, and then we're gonna check in on the fight.
I'm not positive as far as like her capabilities as as HHS, but I'm sure she would do a hell of a lot better job than fucking Mayorkas. She's pretty intelligent. She seems like a tough chick, obviously with the whole killing puppies thing, right?
Right.
Which you thought killed her career, but if she gets confirmed, obviously it's a whole new world. But I think she'll do a good job. Obviously, again, anything's good. A toaster would do a better job than Mayorkas.
Yeah. Yeah. As long as she, fucking doesn't let fentanyl and fucking rapists and murderers flood into our country, I think we'll be all right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But so just real quick, trending on X right now is unwatchable Logan and cancel Netflix. So
I tell you, it was just crashing, dude.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man, let's check in real quick. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. So apparently don't watch it on Netflix. So Netflix
that's
is
the
not
only-
it's
that's
not
where
my
it's at.
internet, it's your shit servers. Yeah, fucking Netflix, man. Why Netflix? Anyone else Netflix freezing up? Yep. Yeah. Fucking. All right. Let's
I guess we'll
see,
never
see what
know,
else.
dude.
Right. Yes, we'll never know. So Logan is also trending. Yep. And still about the streaming issues. Let's see. Logan Paul is the most unlikable person I've ever seen. Disrespecting a legend of boxing. This guy scammed his own fans and filmed a dead body. How does he still have a platform? Guy is a piece of shit. Y'all making anybody famous. Let's see.
Fuck, I'll kill you, Mike. Oh, please, no. Logan, I think he said you might be next. Oh, fuck, I'll kill you, Mike. Oh, please, no. Logan, I think he said you might.
Well, let's
Nothing.
see. Yeah, let's see. Oh, KO'd. Let's see what's going on here. All right, so he's 58 and he didn't get KO'd. Mike Tyson was the GOAT and still the GOAT. Respect, legend never fade. What an epic fight. So I'm guessing based off of just that one, maybe Paul won by decision. I don't know.
I hope not.
I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see.
Terrible,
So he's
man.
58 and he didn't get. Yeah. Just
Same
repeat
shit.
of the win. Jake Paul won, but Mike Tyson will remain a king. He's a retired fighter. He didn't get KO'd, and he's 58. Yeah. So yeah, it's looking like Jake Paul won. Oh, there you go. Looks like I'm like I said, I'm guessing by decision. Everyone's just saying the exact same thing. Yeah.
Right. Like, dude, that's the dead internet theory, man. Like fucking 90% of what you see is just bots, dog.
Right. Fucking Netflix, man. Oh, that's great. Yeah, dude. Mike Tyson was a fucking beast back in the day. Of course, being 58, that's definitely going to take a lot out of you.
He's been laying around eating mushrooms and fucking smoking weed and shit, dude, for years.
Smoking DMT, bro. It's the toad.
Yep, I gotta believe that if that's really the case, everyone's completely sick and disappointed, dude.
Yeah.
I don't care if he's 58. Bite his fucking ear off, whatever.
Right. Well, there you guys have it. Thanks, Netflix. See if I can. Do you remember when future AG man Gates Yasmin. Okay, yeah. But yep. Either way, this is who Brandon Herrera is, the AK guy, his
Right.
ATF director. Right.
Yeah, that's who you
Yeah,
want.
I'd definitely be right.
Because the current
I
one
think that
can't
guy
even
might
tell
know
you
how to.
what an assault rifle is or fucking what's the difference between automatic and semi-automatic. So yeah,
Right, can't even fucking field strip a Glock either.
that's why you got the the like you said, the leftists melting down. Like these peoples aren't qualified. As like, man, you guys have the most inept, fucking unqualified people in the country, like kakistocracy level. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, let's go ahead and switch on over to the Democrats. See how they've been faring over this last week or so. So Democrats are pretty much in a full-on civil war now. Everybody fucking hates Nancy Pelosi.
Who
The
just threw her
mainstream
hat in the
media is
ring for
completely
2026.
collapsing. Oh, did she?
Yeah, she just fucking put the paper in for re-election, man. And was she 84?
Good times.
Right. It's Feinstein part 2, man.
Yeah.
She'll be fucking her carcass will be willed in for a deciding vote.
Right. See, so apparently there's a rift between Nancy Pelosi and Hakeem Jeffries. Right. There's also the leftists pretty much trying to decide on why Kamala didn't win. Some people are saying that, oh, it's because this, it's because of that, it's because of the wokeness, it's because of she wasn't woke enough, it's because, oh, she didn't appeal to anybody, oh, it's because she didn't have a plan. Some people are actually, coming to terms with reality. It just, yeah, she sucks. She didn't have a fucking plan. She came in the fucking 9th hour with nobody fucking voted for her in the primary. Like, obviously that's why she didn't fucking win, but most of the leftists are just trying to cope. And of course, their biggest and most prominent culprit as to why Kamala Harris lost is misogyny. Right? All these fucking misogynist Mexicans and fucking misogynist blacks and shit. God damn it, we should have never let you have rap music.
Right. Larry Elder's the fuck blackface to white supremacies, man. Yeah, it's
Right.
absolutely ridiculous, dude. Complete meltdown.
Yep. Yeah, but let's go and this is from Axios, and they pretty much have a whole list of briefs against Nancy Pelosi. All right, so the scoop: House Dems are sick of Pelosi. So House Speaker Emerita Nancy Pelosi, the Democrat out of California, is ticking off some House Democrats for publicly opining on what her party did wrong in 2024. Why it matters: Pelosi needs to let House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries lead the caucus, Democrats tell Axios. Okay, so here's the bullet points that they
Oh,
put
not
down.
yet.
Right, get up out of here, get your old ass. She needs to take a seat, said one senior Democratic lawyer. Making scattershot comments is not just unhelpful, it's damaging, said the lawmaker. Hakeem Jeffries has been tremendously graceful and respectful of her, but I don't think she's being respectful of him. She's a member of said a member of the Congressional Black Caucus. All right. Both lawmakers insisted on anonymity. Of course they did. Why the fuck? Why would they want anybody to know fucking who the fuck they are? They're talking shit about their own party.
Right.
It's fucking grounds for
To me, it's just not real. To me, that's when journalism fucking blends into fantasies and stuff.
right. But see, Pelosi still instills fear in the members she led for 2 decades. See, zoom in. The mounting frustration with Pelosi exists in the private conversations among House Democrats in various corners of the caucus. The trouble started when Pelosi agreed to an interview with the New York Times in which she suggested Biden should have dropped out of the race sooner. Had that happened, there may have been other candidates in the race, she said. Her comments ignited another round of finger pointing and blame shifting between the Biden and Harris camps. The intrigue. The New York Times wrote up their story on Friday, but didn't post the full interview until Saturday. The transcript had more caveats and compliments than the initial article indicated, but it didn't really matter. Pelosi had started a fire. Many of Pelosi's Democratic colleagues privately cheered when she asserted her will over the party this summer by helping push Biden out of the campaign. The courts the country's first woman speaker didn't appear to care that Biden's feelings were hurt. We just have to win the fucking election, she said. Paraphrasing a little bit on there, but that's pretty much what she said. Between the lines, Jeffries allies, including Pelosi, note Democrats picked up 3 seats in his native New York. On Pelosi's home turf of California, Democrats hope to knock off 5 Republicans. So far, they have only taken out 1. He did a masterful job in New York in this election, she said in her controversial New York Times interview. Speaker Pelosi is immensely proud of leader Hakeem Jeffries and his masterful stewardship in the House Democratic caucus. A Pelosi spokesperson told us we should praise the excellent progress made by House Democrats under his leadership. Blah, 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 blah. So, yeah. Let's see. Another headline is a 2024 blame game finally comes for Hakeem Jeffries. That's the very next fucking article. All right. So, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries is getting caught up in the ideological infighting plaguing his party, with some members on his left flank dialing up their scrutiny towards him. Why it matters. Jeffries' loyalists have long touted his reputation as a unifier and the coalition builder, but some progressives are wondering aloud if he has the mettle to take on President-elect Donald Trump. So it pretty much looks like there's a rift between the, obviously, I guess kind of like the same way that the MAGA Republicans and the neocon Republicans are. Just it's a completely different types of slimy politics that we don't understand. One of them is the old old, as in like old from like back in the civil rights era, the 60s hippies and all that type shit. They're that type of old guard progressives and stuff like that. And then there's the neo-lib faction. All right. So I mean, both of them are complete fucking slime balls in terms of what their agendas are. Of course, in my mind, the progressive leftist party is really just kind of the Communist Party, because you're not allowed to have a Communist Party in America, but that's who the Communist Party is. And then, of course, they have the older neo-libs, which are basically just all for fucking profiting off of war and tell me more about the burn pits. And of course, both of them have their own reasoning as to why they think the election was lost. Yeah, what's your thoughts on the rift between just the Democrat Party, and then we'll go ahead and get into the media and all that shit afterward. But
I think you have the younger ones that we spoke of earlier are incapable of fucking reflection and want to push the party further left, like Hakeem Jeffries, which is a straight radical raised by a black Marxist, his uncle. You know what I'm saying? That taught this shit. Pushed the Frankfurt fucking structure. And I think it was UCLA, I believe. I could very well be wrong, but anyway, I mean, not about who raised him, but where he taught at. I could be wrong about, but so to me that's the infight. It's the older ones that have won a lot of elections and played the game, and obviously their bank account speaks volumes. You got Pelosi that outperforms the fucking S&P by 500% or something. So there's that, and then the younger ones are just more worried about cultural and bullshit that's destroying the fabric of society. And I think that's where the infighting comes. And of course, we have a lot of dinosaurs that don't want to relinquish fucking power. Like we just said, she's going to run for office again at the time, which will be 86. So, you know what I'm saying? I mean, these people want to die in seats of power
Right.
while they, scream about how they're, trying to protect democracy and, keep power from being corrupted when that's the obvious thing. So, that's what I make of it, man. It's one half wants to go further. They just want to double down. And the other half's like, come on, man, we want to keep getting rich, dude. You just got to change your political rhetoric.
Right. Fucking kick that fucking old man out of there, man. What are you guys doing, dude? You're gonna win with this son of a bitch. But ultimately, like I said, it's weird politics that fucking doesn't necessarily pertain to us. But ultimately, I mean, one side was kind of right, in terms of who was more likely to win. Ultimately, neither of them were likely to win, but who was more likely to get more votes? probably fucking Joe Biden. But at the same time, they hit him in the fucking basement as soon as they wrote his resignation letter for him, and they basically hit him in the basement. So we don't actually know how far deteriorated his condition has got. I mean, he could have gone said some way worse fucking shit that could have completely fucked him up even further than
They
he
could
was
have,
already
but did you see
doing.
him the other day when Trump went to the White House?
Oh yeah, like,
Completely alert, all smiles, yep, having a fucking great time, dude. The pictures around the inner zones, the memes are fire. It's all of them posing together, smiling, and it's like fucking Biden's MAGA now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just fucking hilarious shit.
let me see if I can find it real quick.
And he was Mr. President and all that jazz, dude. You know what I mean? Biden's happy he's in office. Fuck yeah.
Right? Yeah. Again, yeah, it's just another part of the rift going on within the Democrat Party. Is they really did push fucking Joe Biden out.
Yeah.
Joe Biden did not want to fucking leave. Look at this face. Looks like fucking what is it, the fucking Jeff Dunham fucking doll and shit. Yeah, dude, look at that.
Yeah.
That dude's happy as shit, man. He's like, fuck Kamala Harris. Right? Yeah.
I'm hanging out with the Don, dude.
But of course, that's what the Democrat Party was always doomed to, right? Because of the fact that they were so fucking fake, right? You can't keep that lie. I mean, of course, you can't fucking keep a lie going forever. I mean, eventually, the truth is going to spill out in some way or another, but it spilled out spectacularly among the Democrat Party. And now, I mean, they're broken up. They don't know what the fuck to do. I mean, there really is no honor among thieves. I mean, maybe for a little bit, but when the shit really gets down to it, this is what happens. They'll fucking sell your ass down the river. Say, man, fuck this guy. He was gonna rip me off. I'm ripping him off first, man. In fact, Kamala had everything to do with this fucking campaign. She was my right hand fucking man. I didn't make one decision without her fucking right there, letting me know that she thought it was a good idea.
Putting on the MAGA hat was the capper, bro.
Right. Yeah, dude, he completely fucking sabotaged Kamala's campaign afterward. And maybe that's giving him too much credit. Maybe he is just fucking the senile old man with the bad memory.
Or maybe he's totally cogent and he just fucking played it off and fucking did what he said he was going to do and, basically install colored presidents. And,
Right.
he's really all good. Now he's out. He's like, fuck yeah, dude. Right.
Hey, he's
Sit
still
down, Don.
he's still the only person to ever beat Donald Trump.
Yeah.
He says he gets to die with that title. The only motherfucker that bested Donald Trump.
It's got to be
Yes.
an asterisk, though, dude. I mean,
Yeah,
where's the
yep.
other 8 million votes?
If you do that, they will fucking tear down his statue. I'm just kidding. All right.
The statue outside of the fucking Chinese-funded wing of school over in Delaware, dude.
Fucking Beijing Biden. He really does look like Beijing Biden in this one, dude. Look at those fucking
Right.
eyes, man.
He hasn't been
Fucking
up
Joe
long.
Biden.
That's what time it is.
Right. Yeah, they got a fresh shot in him right there. Yeah.
They wake him up like fucking 20 minutes beforehand. Like, it's that time, dude. Oh, there you go.
Right. Like, have you ever seen what was it?
Pink Floyd The Wall. Hello,
Right.
hello. Just a little pinprick.
Yep. That'll keep you going for the show. Yeah. But no, I was gonna say fucking I can't think of the goddamn movie. It's made by the guy that made Donnie Darko. Is one that he made later on. But either way, the fucking mainstream media is fucking collapsing. What is it? Comcast is moving to sell MSNBC, which was probably going to end up being bought by the Alex Jones network. And then, no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, Comcast is moving to sell MSNBC. CNN's firing a whole bunch of their fucking news anchors. Mainstream media is dead, you guys. They're not. I think my theory is, of course, all of these leftist influencers, losing all these followers, all of the mainstream media losing all these viewers and stuff just so suddenly. I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that the Democrat Party stopped paying the bot farms. I do think that's
and,
what a lot of it is.
That and Jack Dorsey's fucking blue sky, dude, as far as like people leaving leftists, different social media platforms. Apparently, yeah, his platform shot up like 500% since Trump's won.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, guess where we're going, guys? You're gonna be a Liberty Bull fucking right there, right on the fucking homepage. All 10 of you guys in the chat are invited.
Yep, good times. And then as far as CNN goes, not only about to be laying off, obviously they had to bring back fucking, Mr. Potato Head in some fashion, right? Because that's going to right the ship. But remember, they've already lost their headquarters. They've had to move back to their old building and shit. You know what I mean? And, it's been a complete struggle for them. All their streaming services are under different, names or what have you, including Plus, of course, has been canceled. And, you just keep going. I mean, it's good to watch. And then you see the views for like Dan Bongino, Steven Crowder, Joe Rogan just shooting through the roof. Of course, old Tim.
Right.
It was crazy. If you remember, like 2 weeks ago, Tim was talking about, I got to get out of here. We're going to have a kid. Yeah, dude. Now his shit's skyrocketing. He's been on every episode. He's done extra episodes. Fucking,
Right. And all of that was just so they could fucking fire one guy, probably. No.
Anna.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's let's see, RFK Jr. proposed, So I can't see anything about the people getting fired just from searching CNN on X, but I did find this video of Caroline Leavitt. We were just talking about her. She's the new White House press secretary. It's a video of her apparently pissing off CNN already. Let's go ahead and check it out.
It takes someone 5 minutes to Google Jake Tapper, Donald Trump, to see that Jake Tapper has
Ma'am, we're going to stop this interview if you're going to keep
President
attacking my
Trump to
colleagues.
Adolf Hitler.
Ma'am, I'm going to stop this interview if you
I'm
continue to attack my colleagues. I would like to talk about Joe Biden and Donald Trump, who you work for.
Yes.
If you are here to speak on his behalf, I am willing to have this conversation.
I am stating facts that your colleagues have stated in the past.
Okay,
now,
I'm sorry, guys. We're going to come back out to the panel. Caroline, thank you very much for your time. You are welcome to come back at any point. She is welcome to come back and speak about Donald Trump, and Donald Trump will have equal time to Joe Biden when they both join us now at later this week in Atlanta for this debate.
Okay, so this was apparently from 3 days before the presidential debate, but yeah, so she looks like she's gonna do just fine up there.
Yeah, she's very well could, man.
You're right.
You hope so,
Yeah.
right? That chick though, right? Leftists fucking love to use the term unhinged. You hear that so many times. You see it across the interzones. Anytime you disagree, try to debate. Here's the unhinges. You know what I'm saying? And these people are prime examples of the dictionary definition of, like, I mean, constant.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I say it's going to be dangerous times out there over these next couple of months leading up to the inauguration. And who knows, man? Who knows what you could see this January 6th? It could go off the rails.
Yeah, you hear rumors, around the zones, dude, about planned events and whatnot. They want to have their own J6s.
All right. Yep. I mean, I guess the notion that civil war could still arrive in America it's definitely not done. Where we're riding this high right now. Because of course, obviously Donald Trump.
That's why.
Yeah, Donald Trump just won, but yeah, it's been a fucking week. And he's making these great appointments. Like I said, he's doing everything that we fucking hope that he would do. But there's still I don't know how
2
many million
months?
is it? No, it was,
Oh.
how many voters did Kamala Harris have? Like 60,
Like 71? So I think
Yeah,
it's up to like
71.
70,
Yeah,
71 now.
there's still 71 fucking million people that are unhinged fucking Democrat psychopath leftists that are out there. And of course, all it takes is less than fucking 2% of them to get something fucking going, you know. I don't think that they can, but nonetheless, you know, they just still you got to watch out for you know, political violence, especially over these next couple of months. You know, definitely
Apparently,
do
Go ahead.
not let your fucking leftist, you know, family member bring dessert to Thanksgiving or Christmas.
right,
Do not do it. All right.
right. If someone shows up
I'm
with a
being kind of
shaved head,
serious
just
too.
don't even talk.
Yeah, I'm actually being kind of serious too. I mean, that's the really scary shit that they've actually been talking about, like fucking poisoning family members, and like, dude, like that's fucking psychotic, you know?
Yeah,
Like that's
yeah.
insane. I mean, like
That's beyond, man.
I could understand, like, oh, I'm never talking to you guys again, you know, like you're not my family, like, whatever. I could understand your teen angst, child, you know, but yeah, fucking like killing people because of who they voted for, that's absolutely ridiculous, you know. So definitely keep an eye out, you know, be safe out there.
When you see those examples, it's always the leftists, man.
Always. Always.
Yeah.
Yeah, without fail, man. But of course,
Take guns away from Democrats, you wouldn't even have mass shootings, bro.
right. Yep. Yeah, that's true. You know. And yeah, they don't want to admit it though. And like I said, it's really just they view, you know, guns and stuff like that. It's like, oh, if you have a gun, obviously it's for killing people. That's what it's for. You know, you wouldn't fucking buy a screwdriver if you didn't plan on screwing something with it. You know, like that's the way that they view it. You know, it's like, no, maybe I just wanted a fucking screwdriver so I could go hang it up on the fucking wall. I don't know. Maybe I'll fucking use it every now and then to go fucking fix something. But you know, yeah, people are fucking insane. You know, they can't differentiate, you know, the object with the act, you know.
Yeah. And you know, they're willing to sacrifice their own shit at this point, like you're saying, like moving to like blue sky and stuff. I mean, you're talking about people erasing accounts that are, you know, fucking 2 mil deep and stuff. You know what I mean? Obviously, they're getting paid, you know?
Right. Yep. And the whole, what is it, like 4B movement and shit, dude. These people, it really is kind of, you know, kind of hilarious. Just, you know, it's like, you know, for one, you know, as Matt Gaetz put it, you know, nobody wants you unfuckable people that look like thumbs.
Right.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, nobody's fucking missing out on shit anyway, you know. And for two, that's what the fuck we've been telling you to do the whole time anyway. like, oh, you guys aren't gonna have fucking random sex with strangers and shit all the time. And oh, I forget what the other ones are, but either way, pretty much you guys are gonna be, you know, somewhat prudent with your sexual decisions. Like, oh, I'm aghast. Like, oh
That
no,
was a choice the whole time.
right? Just so you know.
Like, we've been telling you that since elementary school. What the fuck?
Right. Yeah, thinking not this generation though. They got told something different in elementary school. Fucking sex ed used to be like a fucking week, and your parents had to sign a permission slip. Now it's pretty much the entire curriculum of the whole school year.
In some way. Go to the library, kids.
Right. Yeah, yeah, I mean, it's really going to be, you know, good to see a lot of this stuff, you know, leaving our schools, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. I mean, you know, it sucks that it took the whole COVID to destroy the economy for people to fucking actually see it. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And for parents to start pushing back. And then, you know, when the government, you know, it came out that old fucking Ferret Garland up there was pushing it as if you're a domestic terrorist because you're at a school meeting. You know, it made even more people pay attention. So then videos started floating the inner zones, and you know, it seems like we're going to get that shit out of schools. I mean, that would definitely be optimal for fucking society. I mean, because you see, you know, going the androgynous fucking deviant, you know, half unhinged lunatic is not cutting it. You don't want your
Right.
kids on the inner zone shaving their heads.
For everybody to see. If they can, yeah, Of course, all of this stuff again, it does start at the home though. I mean, like I said, a lot of these fucking leftists and shit like that. I guarantee you, none of them grew up with any sort of fucking disciplinary in the house. They're probably just fucking sat to fucking play video games and just dropped off fucking pizza rolls every couple of hours or some shit like that. That was probably their childhood. Either that or their parents are probably gone all the fucking time, or they probably grew up in a single parent household. Mom fucking lived off of food stamps and what. Like that's a lot of these people. Really, it's based off of their they wreck a discipline.
That and you also see it a lot where they had hawkish parents and they send them to fucking good schools, and then once they get sent to university, then it's all downhill from there.
Right.
Your beautiful daughter leaves one day to college and then comes back with fucking a blue brush cut, and it's like, what the fuck
Yep.
happened? You know what I mean? You paid for that. Like, the fuck?
Yeah, there's so many fucking pitfalls out there, especially just because everybody knows fucking kids are young and impressionable, and if you ever try and tell them that they're young and impressionable, just I know fucking everything. Yeah, that's how fucking young and impressionable you are, And so I mean, there's really so many fucking pitfalls out there, and just so many people that for whatever fucking reason just have this weird malice fucking mindset toward youth. Like for some reason it's within them to corrupt the youth and shit like that. Man,
That's
really
the Marxist fucking tenet, man. You
Yeah.
can't bring in communism if you don't have the youth, man.
Yeah. And of course, yeah, I grew up around them. I was the youth and shit that was drinking and smoking with the fucking, like fucking 35, 40 fucking year old random fucking people just hanging around a bunch of high school kids and shit, like people are fucking weird like that for some reason, And then, of course, when those people work at the fucking school, that makes it even worse, So I mean, it's a whole new fucking world, Hopefully Donald Trump gets all that shit out of there, Of course, like I said, it doesn't matter. You could, as you pointed out, you could raise your kids, as good as you as do your best with them, And yeah, it's really just luck
You
of the
let
draw, I
other
guess.
people get into their mind at crucial times.
Yeah.
Really.
Yep. Yeah, if I can really, hopefully people wake up a little bit from, the times to come. Because of course, like we said, it's this economic shock therapy. It's not going to be fun. It's not going to be fucking sunshine and rainbows and shit. Like it's going to be, cheap fuel, cheap energy and shit like that. But ultimately it's going to be on you to fucking convert that energy into food, into money, into whatever the fuck you need to, because there's not going to be no fucking handouts and shit like that. A lot of this, fucking, oh fuck it, I'll just go apply for food stamps and shit like that. Like, no, you won't. it's not the same anymore. Of course, I don't know what types of programs are going to be cut or what's going to be, more strict. I don't know none of that, but ultimately, in order to get some of our ridiculous spending under control, a lot of that stuff does need to be adjusted. Maybe not so much even fucking the social stuff. I'm pretty sure we could fucking cut a massive portion of our budget by just not funding foreign wars constantly.
Yeah, but supposedly, defense budget is only like the fourth, highest expenditure. And what's even higher up on that is federal fucking retirement entitlements, man.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean that's crazy to think, dude. But we spend fucking hundreds of billions of dollars, dude, fucking every year on, ex-congressmen and senators and shit like that. Their retirement and security packages, and I'm sure their free haircuts at Great Clips for the rest of their lives and stuff.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of areas you could definitely cut. There's so much waste. The black budget, I think, is like the fifth highest expenditure. Black budget is classified fucking, operations.
Right.
Come on,
Just
now.
don't worry about it, you guys.
Yeah, I'm sure in reality, you probably have to add that black budget to the defense budget because it's probably one fucking Leviathan. So really, they're spending fucking damn near double what they're telling you.
Right.
I'm sure, because obviously the numbers that we're getting is from the Biden administration, and as we know, they surely can't be trusted with numbers. Everything from jobs to inflation to just about any figure you can name, employment, they revise months after they put out numbers that are just absolutely fucking fictitious.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Quietly on a Friday night.
that's funding. That's funding our nation's chief primary export, death.
Right.
That's what we ship around the world.
Yeah, weaponries to the Ukraines and fucking yeah.
Yep.
It's actually most of it's reimbursing fucking EU countries. You know what I mean? Because it's been a lot of you go ahead and give them our old cast offs that you purchased, and we'll give you some of our new cast offs.
And then meanwhile, we'll go ahead and fucking just spend all of this money to fucking Lockheed Martin and fucking
Yeah.
and Raytheon and all those
Raytheon,
places.
and
Yep. We'll replenish our own stocks with brand new state of the art shit. And then we'll go export war to some other fucking poor country out there. But hopefully that's not going to be the case this time around. Yeah, at least that hasn't been the case historically with Donald Trump as commander in chief. So
yep, we'll see what Elon and Vivek are capable of as well. We'll see if that even flies. You got a lot of people coming out with so-called constitutional questions as far as can he do this? Can he just create? It's not even an official deal. It's more like an advisory role. I mean, hence the reason that they're trying to pull Ron Paul into it and shit. And you know what I mean? Which again, supposedly Vivek spoke to him recently about it. And again, he reaffirmed he's down to be, an advisor in the position, which gives you even more hope that if it goes through, you may see some serious changes. And, you got the one thing that you would love to see, but probably will never happen, regardless of who's president, of course, would be dealing with the Fed. You got Jerome Powell coming out saying, setting Trump up for, economic disaster as he fucks with, the fucking interest rates, right before he comes into power, of course, saying that he doesn't have to step down regardless of who's the president, that they're an independent body. Well, the Constitution says you shouldn't even exist, bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, get.
Yeah.
Yep, they can hashtag end the Fed. And it's really kind of funny just watching the Democrats, bitch about like, oh, are they even allowed to do any of that stuff? Like that falls on Congress to do. Like, motherfucker, you guys have been putting off the work of Congress on fucking bureaucratic, fucking non-elected bodies for decades now. You guys are the fucking kings of fucking delegating down to fucking bureaucracy. Like, and all of a sudden, when Donald Trump does it to fucking two people, all of a sudden they now it's everybody freak out.
Yeah,
He's
not to
overstepping
mention
the
like
Constitution.
and when there's Democrat presidents, it's totally cool. They're like, they resort to much more executive fucking fiat, and that's totally acceptable. But when Trump does it, that's that's pure fascism.
It's dictator.
Told you, yep, exactly. I was just gonna say, told you, dictators.
Right. Get ready for the bloodbath, guys.
Yep.
Yeah, dude. It's really fucking crazy time. It's a lot of the people too almost kind of have been like, like I said, within the Democrat Party, like, yeah, fuck it, dude. The jig is up. I'm done playing this fucking pronoun shit. Like AOC removed her pronouns off of her fucking profile and shit. The left is having a meltdown over that. But yeah, it seems like a lot of people now that the election is over, like, fuck all this shit. This shit was fucking stupid. You guys are all fucking idiots. I hate you all. But then you're also seeing very clearly the people that actually believe every single fucking word of all of this. Like, even the lies that they created. Like, you guys believe your own fucking lies that you knew that wasn't fucking true before you even said it. But still, you guys are still fucking still by. Like, there's people that are just diehard. They cannot comprehend anything outside of what they've heard on fucking MSNBC and shit.
Yeah, and it's insane. Like it just depends on what mouth it comes out of, how they feel about rhetoric. Like and the just the ability to flop regardless of the standing just on a dime like that as they scream cult is just fucking amazing, dude. And
Yeah.
that's what I was gonna say about earlier when you were saying about Hakeem Jeffries and his situation in New York. In the AOC, you see apparently she was speaking to constituents and inquiring why they voted such a large split ticket. Like apparently a whole bunch of Democrats, even in her district and across New York, voted for like AOC, but then voted Trump.
Yeah.
And they were basically saying, regardless of how we feel, like we wanted to go as anti establishment as possible, whether that was what they view as far left and far right. They just weren't voting for the milk toast.
For the machine.
Yeah. So I mean, but we both know AOC, regardless if she fucking removes her fucking gender roles or whatever, it's she's still this same extreme fucking moronic leftist that she's always been. And
Do you think
you're going to see. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you think she's willing to, or at least has the willingness within her to go against the machine?
I think she tries, but then when it comes down to fucking the moment, she always falls in line. I mean, how many times has she verbally said that she was against something that Pelosi was openly for, but then when it came time to vote, all of them lockstep,
Right.
most of the time you see it's pretty across the board. There'll be some Republicans that'll vote with Democrats, but no Democrats will vote with Republicans. Like you
Right.
rarely see that. And you always got to state, it's not like I think, spineless ass Republicans were the answer. You know what I mean? But at this point in time, we're trying to, fulfill a fucking movement, right? Our own little manifest destiny here. And fucking, it's a situation. It's gonna be rough, but like I keep saying, 2 years, bro. 2 years.
Right.
Fast
Yep.
forwards is
Shit. So let's I guess go ahead and talk about these I guess 2 years. Talk about we'll break it down into two chunks, right? We'll do the first 2 years and then we'll do the last 2 years. All right. So what kind of stuff do you think we're gonna see take place over these first 2 years with Donald Trump? It doesn't have to worry about running for re-election. He has a majority in both chambers. He basically has a mandate right now. The popular vote, which shows that even if Democrats try democracy and shit, well, if we were going off of just pure democracy, the democracy has said we want Donald Trump to do whatever the fuck that he's selling to us. So what do you think he's going to be doing during these first 2 years?
I think the main focus is going to be obviously the border situation. I'd say that'd be A1 priority. That's the major reason for the mandate, in my view. And then which is going to help economically because even Biden's fucking CBO just came out and said that all the illegal immigration has drove down wages. So I mean, to me that would be A1 priority again. And so I definitely think you're going to see some of that. You will see some budget cuts. You'll see some tax cuts, pretty moderate shit. But I can't say as far as the other shit goes because again, it depends on the confirmations as far as positions are concerned, and how able the Senate is going to be as far as the agenda is concerned. But I would love to see some shutting of departments and
Right.
the actual shit that's being said. Let's cut some fat. You know what I mean? There's fucking millions of people that work for the government at this point. We were never intended to be this type of country. It wasn't meant to function like this.
Right.
Like you keep saying, like the bureaucrats. That's that again should be right up there in the top 3 priority is to do what you can do as far as skirt Joe Biden's fucking edicts of trying to make it hard to fire him.
Yeah. So how do you think it's going to look? With him taking action on the border. Obviously, we're going to shut down the border. We're going to re-implement, the remain in Mexico policy. He did also say that he's going to, have a serious conversation with the president of Mexico to stop letting people into our fucking country. He's also, said that basically we're going to have the largest deportation in American history. How do you think that's all going to look and play out?
It's going to look terrible because the
Mhm.
media, of course, is, they're not going to let that go to waste. They're going to see this is fascism's, you're going to see crying kids and all that kind of jazz. But,
Right.
again, people just can't see the big picture at times. They just see that and the horror, right? Pearl clutching. So, I mean, you got to look past that. That's what I think it's going to look like. Is he going to be able to deport 10 million people or whatever? Fuck, probably not. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's pretty drastic. But I think you will see, a massive uptick in deportations. And again, it will be played out like it's the end of the fucking world because obviously that's going to cost Democrats massive fucking congressional power as far as the census that'll be taken. And what is it, 25 or 26? I don't remember. But either way, I mean, what is it? They say that they could lose 1 to 7 seats just by, mass deportations. So, that would be fucking huge. Tom Homan in charge. I mean, you see, he had it on lockdown previously, some of the lowest levels ever recorded, and that's, I think you'll see that. I really do. Is it going to cost the multi billions per million to get rid of these people? I wouldn't assume so. You definitely can't be flying them around in fucking, first class, flights to wherever they want to go home and shit like that. It's They're going to
Right.
put you back in the fucking caravans you fucking walked over in, bud. You know what I mean?
Put you in a
And
crate,
he's
man.
not. Yeah, and he's not going to have much luck with the Mexican president down there. She's not even from Mexico. She's as Jews as is, and they're all about the destruction of America too, regardless of where the greatest allies or whatever. We could debate that. That's a whole nother show. But you know, so and she's openly saying that she doesn't even recognize Trump as the president elect, and you know what I mean, that he hasn't been sworn in.
What's your thoughts on I believe it was uh I believe it was fuck the one that he appointed as borders are. I believe he said that Donald Trump has said that he was going to designate the cartels as terrorist organizations and that
Right? Trump
we're
has said
gonna
the same thing.
right. So how do you think that's gonna end up playing out? Of course, obviously with the factor in that the president of Mexico is not going to be willing to play ball and probably going to they're attacking our citizens.
I mean, I could definitely see it that way. I mean, just think if we started, if someone started striking cities here in America and they were like, well, they're making fucking meth there. You know what I mean?
Right.
You'd be like, dude, you're dropping bombs on our country, son. Like, I mean, how much? I mean, you could do some strategic, like SEAL type shit, right? Covert, sneaking in the night, assassins and shit like that. Maybe some drones, but you're not going to see like some mass warfare or something. I mean,
It's
you
not
can't
gonna be
you can't do
it's not gonna be like Gaza. We're not gonna be
that.
chasing flooding out tunnels and shit.
Right. Yeah, definitely not, man. I mean, we actually fill them full of concrete,
Right.
but
It'll definitely be portrayed that way though by the media.
right.
It's definitely gonna
Yeah,
be like, they're
mass
definitely
genocide.
yeah, they're killing children's over here. Like fucking 13-year-old kid has a fucking AK. Like, what the fuck did you expect me to do, man?
Right. Yeah,
Yeah,
man. And if you know the back room fucking sections of old Spacebook, dude, you can see videos that are taken, in cities across Mexico on a daily basis where these fools are hacking motherfuckers up in the street with machetes and letting dogs eat their nuts and shit, dude. You know what I
right.
mean? I mean, some pretty savage shit right at your door. People don't even realize like they're just good people's and it's
Yeah,
not like, it's not a racial thing. It's not all Mexicans. My wife is Mexican. This guy's Mexican. It's I mean, it's reality.
yeah. I binged on those cartel snuff videos one day, and it didn't sit well with my mind.
Right.
They're pretty fucking gruesome. They're
Disturbing for sure,
yeah.
man.
Oh yeah, they'll definitely pluck some strings within you. Like your skin will definitely be crawling. But yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah, I would,
you see Mayorkas just announced today that they're going to push through another 65,000 fucking visas before Biden leaves office on top of the ones already granted for 2025 to fill jobs in landscaping and fucking, agriculture and Yeah, just
Right.
openly announcing it. Like, we're gonna go ahead and let another 65,000 in on top of the ones we already have planned. What the fuck,
Fucking,
dude?
fucking insane. Like,
Yeah, and his thing was what? I'm doing everything in my strength to keep the greatest economy moving. Like, dude, you're making your people fucking be paid less, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
right, hey, dude, you're making me fucking want to give Trump dictatorial powers even more, man. Like,
You remember there was a documentary. It was something like the price of cheap or the price of cheap goods, something to that effect. But
yeah,
I mean, it's actually has the opposite fucking effect on your economy, and you're seeing the repercussions of that. You
right.
rely on cheap foreign goods, man. Now no one knows how to run shit or make shit,
Well,
and
let's touch on that, man. Fucking tariffs and deregulation. You know, it's another Trump promise that's obviously going to stimulate our economy. Obviously it's going to we're going to be able to fucking have an actual economy that's based off of actual products and productive citizens. And trade with foreign nations, stuff like that. But so in terms of importing, which is 90 fucking percent of what the United States does, yeah,
right, your
prices.
grapes are from Argentina.
Right. So the prices are going to go up on that, right? So that's going to be your fucking cheap goods, your fucking, bargain fucking brands and shit like that. The prices of that shit it's going to go up. It's going to go up to meet just about the prices of the regular domestically made goods. So there's going to be that. But at the same time, you should be making some more money once more of these deregulations come in, once we're able to bring more manufacturing home without having to worry about being priced out. But a lot of people like to say that the reason that we don't have manufacturing at home and stuff like that is because American workers don't want to work for the wages that they would have to make in these places in order to make the products at an affordable price for the consumers. Ultimately, the reason that products are not at an affordable price for consumers isn't because the fucking employees are greedy. It's because of the fact that they have to spend so fucking much on regulations, so much on safety fucking measures and safety measures for the safety measures and backup safeties and fucking, you need extra lights and actually they need to be this wattage of bulb and they actually need to be bought from this manufacturer. And that screw over there looks like it's not made with this sort of metal and shit like that. Like that is what keeps the price of American manufacturing high. So if we're able to cut a lot of that fat out and bring jobs back home to America, you will be able to afford, because again, let's also be real about inflation. Inflation's not fucking going anywhere. I mean, it's gonna stop, but the prices aren't gonna go back down. That's not how it works. The prices this is pretty much the economic scenario that we live in now. So basically what's going to happen is the wages got to rise up to meet the rise in prices. And of course that's going to take place with bringing home manufacturing, right? It's going to, like I said, it's going to bring jobs. It's going to help us bring American goods, and it's going to say, fuck you, China.
Yep, I think there'll be workarounds, man. I think that a lot of companies will end up moving to obscure places like maybe fucking, South America, shit like that. Like it's going to be distinct fucking tariffs, like you said, like China. I mean, there's lots of other places. And obviously you want an open market to an extent where people are free to trade. But at the same time, like the reliance solely on has what has caused the damage. So if you make it more of a streamlined process to open a business, like you said, cut some of those regulations, fucking taxes, shit like that, and make it,
hormones.
yeah, just make it an easier process and a less costly process to start and maintain a business. You'll see people want to do that shit, and I think a big problem of it has been lack of training and shit. Again, like they've taken most things that were truly productive out of schools for the most part, right? Everything is like extracurricular or like vocational, you know what I mean? Or you have to go to an outside source to get any kind of experience to get your vocational fucking credits or what have you. So lack of training is an issue. I mean, even like say, if a new auto plant was going to open up fucking right down the street, and they wanted to start off obviously with some type of experienced staff, without bringing people in from other states or anything like that, they would have a hard fucking time staffing it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because the manufacturing's been gone for so long, so many people have never even had the opportunity, let alone the choice to fucking work those type of positions, man. And then even with the wages part, I do disagree to an extent. You know what I mean? Especially coming from Michigan, being around Ford plants and shit like that. Unions destroy not only businesses but people's thought process. I mean, you got guys that fucking basically stand around, do some light work every 60 to 120 fucking seconds, right? And or they expect to be paid 30 fucking dollars an hour with full benefits, dude, massive retirement packages, exempt from any kind of insurance regulations as far as the federal government's concerned, and fucking, you know what I'm saying? Just and companies fold from unpaid fucking entitlements, dude. You know what I mean? Like I know the most massive expenditure for like a Ford, for instance, is retirement packages, like we were just speaking on with the federal budget. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a thing across the board. And so those are all considerations as well. But I also do agree with the inflation's not going to go anywhere. I think it's probably going to get worse, especially with spending and tax cuts. I think it will get worse, man. But again, like it's got to get worse before it can get better. And especially with touching on what I was saying, you bring manufacturing home, there's going to be a time period there where there's going to have to be some type of training, dude. Like
Yeah.
instead of sending money overseas, invest it in our own people and start up like, fucking training programs like you used to have in the fucking 80s and 90s.
Well, a lot of that could come too with getting rid of the Department of Education. Getting rid of the core curriculums and all the shit
Right.
that the federal government has decided that you need to know this.
Mhm.
Shit, we could start getting people geared up for these jobs much sooner.
Again,
Especially if
even with that, trimming the fat, bro. Like if I want to go to school for HVAC, why the fuck do I got to,
right,
some type of reading class or some type of literature class? Like, dude, I'm trying to work on fucking ACs.
right,
Let's cut a
yeah,
lot of time and cost off this.
right. Especially, man, if you ever try reading a fucking schematic, it doesn't matter how fucking proficient you are in reading. You need to know how to read a schematic.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, like I say, a lot of this, it's a simultaneous thing that's going to work itself out over time, and really, it's been a long time to get us into the type of mess that we are, and it's not going to be a cakewalk to get us out. It's not going to be just there's, like I say, it's going to be hard times. It's going to be some rough times.
Fascisms.
Right? It's definitely going to be fascism. Like you're going to be woken up to a fucking beep, 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 beep every morning in your neighborhood. Yep, fucking fascisms.
Right.
But yeah, no, I mean, hopefully, like I said, we don't even know fucking how drastic or how quickly Donald Trump plans on getting the ball rolling on this stuff. Like, I mean, like I said, a lot of the stuff that he's planning on doing, he's already getting done, in the pregame and shit. He's already lining his ducks up and shit like that. He's ready to go. So I mean, there's still a good chance that of course, with the mandate that he has, he's going to try and push a lot of this stuff through much faster than we're even anticipating.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's a 2-year window, man. You got to get to work fucking immediately, dude.
So that's going to be his first 2 years. What do you think is going to be taking place during the second 2 years?
Absolutely depends on the midterms. Like, I mean, if he still has, power, legislative power behind him, I think, it may go well. You could see, again, the economic bloom that we're talking about that the hard times are going to lead to.
Yeah.
And, if not, obviously it's going to be a struggle. I think if Democrats have any actual seat, above a majority in either fucking chamber, it's going to be we got to impeach, dude. We got, you know what I mean? We got to pass a law calling them insurrectionists, something.
Right. Well, we also have to think that, during this 2 years, that, we're going to be struggling our economy to get it back on the right track. That's, obviously people aren't going to appreciate the subtle nuance that's taking place. All they're going to realize is, fuck, man, like, it still fucking sucks, like it's hard times right now. And, of course, in the midterms, that really could play to the establishment's favor, play against Donald Trump. And so in which case we could be, shit, he could lose fucking the House and the Senate, in which case, and that, I mean, there's still the possibility that, they could fucking try and impeach him at that point, and then they're going to try and fucking overturn all of the shit that, he did during these first 2 years. And of course, they would have the power of the fucking people. As long as the people see that, it's still fucking hard times, it's not going to, it's all going to be for naught, basically,
Yeah, I think if they wanted, the last part of it, they would try to do the impeachment thing, of course, but he would still have veto power. He could refuse to sign bills. And that's why the first 2 years he needs to get the shit through the legislative, branch. So, it's actually there rather than just executive fiat like previously when Joe Biden's first 90 days was just spent undoing it with
Right.
his own auto pen. You know what I mean?
Yep. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see, man. Like I say, hoping for the best. So far, everything seems promising. Everything that we've seen coming out of Donald Trump, this pre-inauguration period, it's been great. Of course, we've seen all of the shit that he's been put through. He's literally been purified through fucking fire. Like the dude, he knows what DC is about now. And honestly, like I say, I hope for the best. I wouldn't have fucking voted for the guy if I didn't think that he was going to do everything within his power to, make America great again. So that's like I say, that's the best thing we got to hope for. Try and fucking start a business, do what the fuck that you can during this time period. Like I say, fucking look out for each other, look out for the fucking Democrats, that's for sure. And yeah, fucking we'll have to fucking wait and see.
Yeah, and the left, they're communists, they're scoundrels, they're fucking deviants, absolute reptiles. If you want your kids and grandkids to have a future, fucking dude, keep voting with your morals rather than feelings, and let's get her done.
All right. Do you think the Democrats are going to abandon woke?
I think it's going to implode in itself, right? It's going to eat itself, man. It's the old snake fucking, theorem. It's,
Right.
It's going to die, but it's going to die because of themselves. Like, I mean, you see it again, how fast they turn on each other if there's not 100% agreement, and, they push people out. They're trying to cut their fucking families off, for Christ's sakes. They're going to do it to themselves, and, they're sanitizing themselves. They're not going to have babies. They want to kill them up to, whenever, and are pushing, we got to stockpile fucking abortion drugs because Trump sickles, and it's so they're going to do themselves in for sure.
You think they're gonna add a fucking Bud Light clause to their fucking their bylaws and shit? Like, all right, just remember, for future campaigns, we don't support trannies publicly, all right? And we ain't doing
Right.
that no more, okay?
Yeah, it's gonna just like AOC's doing right now. They're gonna try to moderate. They got to do something, right? The main portion of the party's got to do something to win, and that's where the whole conflict is coming in their party. But that's got to be the movement. Their own constituents are telling them, like I said with the AOC thing. I mean, she's a complete stooge, and even she sees it.
Yep.
By the voting in her own district.
Yep. Yeah. If I can. Yeah, man, we're definitely. Like I say, this is a major moment in American history. Where we get to live through it and watch it. If I can sit here and talk about it. And it's definitely crazy shit, and to think
Yeah.
of, especially when you think about, all the major moments throughout human history that have taken place before, it's never taken place like this, where people are able to document everything going on at all times. I always kind of wonder about like the politics, the minute internal politics, the micro politics that were taking place during like some of those major events. I don't know. I guess there's ways that you could look into it. I'm sure that it's recorded down, but definitely nowhere near to the extent that this current moment in political history is been recorded.
Yeah, I think old DJ fucking flipped the whole political paradigm in 2015, and this is one more notch in the fact that it's never going to be the same again. And that's where the whole Thune thing comes in the Senate. That was the putting that guy in that place of power was exactly that. I'm let's try to ride this Trump thing out so we can just go back to business as usual. But people need to absolutely push against that shit. And regardless if you're, a Bernie supporter or whatever, don't let the fucking establishment, retake control, man.
All right, don't let them fucking destroy this place, man. Like,
Right.
it doesn't matter if you fucking like it or not. If you like the current establishment, if you like the current administration, if you like the people currently in power, if you don't like them currently in power, if you don't like the people next in power, it doesn't matter. This is still our fucking home, right?
And it's the last stand, dude.
Yeah. And
It
it's on
really
all
is.
of us to not let us devolve into either Nazi Germany or Soviet fucking Russia. Doesn't matter. They both fucking suck, right?
Right. And you see, like in other Western countries, you speak against the government, fucking you go to prison. And in most other countries, you speak out against the government and you get murdered out, man. You
Right.
know? I mean,
Yeah.
this really is the last stand here.
Yep. Don't let fear lead you into tyranny now.
Right. That's
All
the
right.
reason that the Dems and the media, I mean, even though you repeat yourself saying that, right, are so against the main rights that safeguard that last stand.
Yep. The First and Second Amendment. Your freedom to say what you want, and then to defend yourself when they come after you for saying what the fuck you want.
Mhm.
Yep. But all righty, man. Anything else you want to throw in about fucking celebrating good times as we know it?
Well, don't give in. It's not over, man. Still, a lot of shit to do. You got to push your representatives. Time for men to start meeting in taverns again. And again, vote with common sense and fucking morals.
All right.
Other than that, man,
And protect
smell ya.
protect fucking Donald Trump right now. All
Yeah,
right.
keep him on his gold throne shitter, dude. Just
Right.
straight up lock him in the Mar-a-Lago bathroom. You're all good. We'll bring you foods and snacks and
Yep. Fucking
Trump
this
waters and all that.
prime directive number one. We already see all the fucking lefties all over the internet talking about like, when's someone going to take out Donald Trump? Right? Because again, I do think that was the plan, man. And I think Donald Trump was supposed to get fucking taken out. They were going to try and let's let bygones be bygones. And matter of fact, we'll build the wall in honor of Donald Trump. Like, see, just to show you there's no hard feelings. Like, no, you guys are going to build the wall because it's a fucking popular policy. It's something that resonates
Right.
well with the American people and is going to put a fucking band-aid on all of the bullshit that you guys did. Right. And yeah, I think that was the plan, was just fucking take out Donald Trump. We'll fucking, give the MAGA wing a bone, and we'll build the wall for them or what the fuck ever. And then let's get back to business as usual. I think that was
It wasn't even just take them out. It was supposed to be completely demoralizing. You were supposed to see it. It was the only Trump rally that fucking
Right.
CNN broadcasted. You know what I mean? Coincidence? I don't think so, Bobby.
Yep. Well, fucking CNN's going in the dumps now, right?
Right.
Fucking love you guys, America. Thank you guys all for fucking stopping in, for voting for Donald Trump, because I'm sure all of you guys fucking voted for Donald Trump watching this shit. There is a few people that do hate watch this show. It's funny. Actually, every time we talk about Ukraine, I always get somebody fucking in the comments like fucking slava Ukraine. Like,
Right.
I don't know why. It's weird.
Most corrupt shithole in Europe. They what?
Right. Yeah, we appreciate you guys. We appreciate all you guys that voted for Donald Trump, all of you guys that got your friends and family to go out there, everybody that voted down ballot as well too, because you guys also delivered us the fucking the Senate and the House as well. Fucking great day in America. Again, stay on your toes though. You know, stay on your toes, man. Don't start fucking dancing in the streets singing happy, happy, joy, joy yet. You know, we're not out of the fucking woods just yet.
All right, he's got to get in there, and then you got 2 years to crank it out.
Right? Yeah. Well, appreciate y'all. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share this video out with your friends, and let us know what you guys think in the comments. And as always, fuck off.
Smell you later.